Hi everyone, in this video I'll show you how I get my nails to look like this in the comfort of my own home using what I consider to be the absolute best dip powder on the market. If you're interested, keep on watching. Now this is the dip powder. This is what I consider to be the absolute holy grail of dip powders. It's called NuGenesis. This is the dip powder that is used at very popular salons within my city. And after trying it out for the first time, I couldn't get enough. It's extremely durable and long lasting. But what's really important for me is how easy it is to use, making it perfect as a DIY within the comfort of your own home. These are some additional items that you'll need. The polishes. So I have these polishes that I purchased online. It's a numbered system which makes it very easy to follow. So step number 1 is a primer which helps in eliminating the oils on your nails. Step number 2 is the base coat that gets the powder to stick onto your nail. Step number 3 is the activator that works to bond the base and powder together. And finally, we have step number 4, which is the top coat that secures everything together and gives your nail a lovely shine. Some other tools you'll need includes a brush to help remove the excess powder, a cuticle pusher, which is not required. However, I do recommend it as it helps give your nail that professionally manicured look. And then you have a nail clipper, which helps in shaping your nail. And then we also have nail filers that help gently grind down and shape your nail. Another tool that I would recommend includes a towel. Now, you'll find that using this dip powder, NuGenesis in particular, the powder is very, very fine. So it can be messy. So in order to protect the surface that you're working on, I suggest having a small towel handy during this process. So that's essentially it. Now we can begin by starting using the primer, which is step number 1 in the polish system. So to start, I'm just applying the primer all over the nail bed, cuticle, on the edges. You don't have to be super neat at this stage. You just want to make sure that you're covering the whole nail. So there we are. And now we can proceed with step number 2. Be careful with this one as this number 2 polish dries really quickly and is very, very sticky. So you want to get your nail in the powder while it's tacky and you don't want it to dry. So you have to be fairly quick with the application of this polish and the dipping in the powder. So watch very closely. Make sure to get the edges of the nail. That's very important. Now you want to dip your nail into the powder at a 45-degree angle versus a 90-degree angle. Following the dip of the nail, lightly tap off the excess powder. Do not brush off excess powder as the powder is still drying with the base coat. Brushing off the excess powder is one of the final steps before proceeding with the second layer of powder. Now moving on to the index finger, you will see that the same exact steps are being followed. Nails are being dipped at a 45-degree angle with the excess powder being lightly tapped off. Now I will speed this portion up a bit as we are just following the same exact steps for the rest of our nails. We are now done with the first layer of application. It is now time to brush off that excess powder and complete a second application using the step 2 polish. It's really important that you brush off that excess powder. Without doing so, you may be left with a clumpy, thick, bumpy, uneven look, and that is not what we're going for. Brushing off that excess powder ensures that your nails are even and smooth. So now that the excess powder is all brushed off, we will proceed with the step 2 polish process by applying the base polish and dipping our nails in the powder at a 45-degree angle, tapping off any excess powder. Follow the same steps for the rest of your nails. We're all done with this step and getting the excess powder brushed off. Depending on how sheer your powder is and the look you're going for, you may do a third layer. I typically keep my layers to 2 in order to obtain a very natural look, as dip powders do have the tendency to appear unnaturally thick with the more layers you apply. Here is where we're at following the completion of step 2. Now We'll be moving on to step 3, the activating process, to bond the powder with the base. Now apply the activating polish all over your nail. Try to keep it on your nail. However, just like the primer, there's not much harm with getting it on your skin, which is unlike the base polish where you do not want to apply that on your skin at all, as it is very sticky and the powder sticks to wherever the base touches. Following the application of the activating polish, let it air dry for about 1 minute. Following the drying of the nail, get your filers out, be it manual or electric. File down the nail, do final shaping touch-ups, ensure nail surface is even. Once you are finished with the filing, proceed with smoothing the nail surface. I have a manual filer with a smoothing grit, so I use that. Use whatever you have that will smooth the surface of your nail. After smoothing the nail surface, apply the activating polish once more. And following the application of the activating polish, once again, let it air dry for about 1 minute. We're at the final step, the top coat. After letting the activating polish dry, apply the top coat to each nail. Be sure to keep this on the nail only and seal the tip edges of your nail. Do a full round of 1 coat, immediately followed by the second coat. Following the second coat, let it air dry for a full 2 minutes. Just look at that difference. Now all you have to do is apply your cuticle oil. It is optional, and then you're all done.